I hear so many stories about we're not going to allow their students, or we're going to allow their students to come in.
Why?
We're going to allow, it's very important, 600,000 students. It's very important. But we're going to get along with China.
I just got to tell you, I couldn't disagree with more. Unlike Candace Owens and Dave Smith, who, by the way, I think he disappeared. He's welcome to come on the show, who called for Donald Trump's impeachment for the strike even pre-strike on Iran's nuclear facilities. I am not calling for President Trump's impeachment. I think there's more good than bad with this administration. I think in many ways he's been incredibly effective, the most effective president of my lifetime. No one is perfect. And this next one, in my opinion, you can comment, let me know if you agree or disagree. I think it's a big mistake. President Trump yesterday made a pretty big proclamation that raised some eyebrows, rightfully so, about Chinese students in America.
President Xi would like me to come to China. It's a very important relationship. As you know, we're taking a lot of money in from China because of the tariffs and the different things. And it's a very important relationship. We're going to get along good with China. I hear so many stories about we're not going to allow their students, or we're going to allow their students to come in.
Why?
We're going to allow, it's very important, 600,000 students. It's very important. But we're going to get along with China. But it's a different relationship that we have now with China. It's a much better relationship economically than it was before. With Biden, boy, what he allowed they just took him to the cleaners.
Now, here's the thing. Sometimes President Trump just kind of shoots from the hip and he's not as eloquent as you would like him to be. And then you sort of see the actual policy revised. You go, oh, okay, I guess that makes sense. Doesn't seem to be the case here because Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick doubled down with some statements that I just got to tell you, I couldn't disagree with more.
Mr. Secretary, with all due respect, how is allowing 600,000 students from the communist country of China putting America first?
Well, the president's point of view is that what would happen if you didn't have those 600,000 students is that you'd empty them from the top. All the students would go up to better schools, and the bottom 15% of universities and colleges would go out of business in America.
Yes.
So his view is he's taking a rational economic view, which is classic Donald Trump, looking at higher education and saying,
but why are you
until
helping
we
Harvard?
modify that.
So the bad colleges would go out of business, except we're protecting them. Looks like we're still in action, said Arizona State. They're thrilled.
Very cool.
It's a party school.
I don't understand this at all. So the problem we would end up with if we didn't import 600,000 Chinese students, and by the way, I'll get to the fact that many of them are spies. As a matter of fact, they're almost required to be spies if their government gets a hold of them, and they always try to get a hold of them. We would have really good schools, and that's it. We would only have good schools left, and the bad schools would be gone.
But we'd also have better education for citizens. Natural-born citizens here.
But I'm almost finished my degree from DeVry.
Well,
you can still do that.
There's always some fallout. Mm-hmm. I didn't take into account the Firestein effect.
Yeah, well, sorry. I didn't talk about it.
But let me go through some key.
That might be the dumb. I'm sorry. I just have to. That might be the dumbest thing that I've ever heard anybody say.
It's really dumb.
He's saying it, and I'm actually saying yes, in agreement with that would be a good thing.
Yeah.
This is classic Donald Trump. No, classic Donald Trump is shooting for the moon and then coming back a little bit and getting exactly what he wanted, or even a little bit more in the first place. This doesn't make any sense at all for you to go out and be like, yeah, this is classic Donald Trump. If we took those 600,000 out, that'd be the top students. So you're saying that all of the Chinese students that are coming into the United States of America are smarter than the Americans that are here in the first place? Thanks a lot for that. Second of all,
that's a problem.
You're saying the bottom 10 to 15% of the colleges that are so bad, the only way they can exist is if we import smart people from another country, and we should make sure they stay in existence? Yeah. What the hell are you talking about, Howard?
It seems to, well, I have a hunch, but let me just give you some key facts here. So key fact number one, references available. Just check the links in the description. The amount that he's talking about, this plan would double the amount of Chinese students in the United States. The current number is 277,000. Now, it would go to 600,000, right?
It still is too much to me.
It still is too much. And I'll get to why it's too much. But let's compare that to American students in China. Let's just apply sort of the same mindset as tariffs. Right? Should be equal. 277,000 now, soon to be 600,000 if they implement this. In China, 800,000? 800 American students. 800.
Wow.
And here's a key fact number two. When you understand how the Communist Chinese Party operates, every single Chinese student is a potential, and I don't mean in some small percentage unlikelihood. There is a very large potential for every single Chinese student here to be a spy. The good news is they're somewhat easy to spot. Yeah, you just need to know what you're looking for.
He's so horny.
People on audio, that's worth going back. So
That's a congressman.
let me give you some context here. This month, Chinese students in the UK, they disclosed that they were forced by the Communist Chinese Party to spy for them. Okay? Right? They were forced to. They were forced by their government to report on what was deemed they were deemed to be sensitive subjects to the Communist Chinese Party. Politics, technology, science.
Espionage, you know.
Here's another example. In 2023, the Chinese police harassed the parents of a student at Georgetown. So a Chinese student at Georgetown, stateside, his parents still overseas. The Chinese police harassed the parents about their child's activities on campus. This is actually from an article here that you can read. The state security police knocked.
You have to read it.
The state security police knocked on our door and took my father away for lengthy questioning. They asked him, does this child of yours take part in pro-democracy activities? Do they usually love their country and the ruling Chinese Communist Party? If not, you have to teach him to love his country and the party better. Make sure he loves party better. It's not okay that he's doing this, and it won't do any good. They say, tell your son there ain't no party like a Communist Chinese Party, because the Communist Chinese Party don't stop.
The party don't stop.
It don't stop.
Yeah, they love the party, don't they?
You have to tell your son, do more Communist Chinese Party, no more Cottage Party. You have to fight for your right to not party.
I wake up ready for school and I don't want to go.
What's that noise? Noise of Communist Chinese Party. The best. Best noise I ever hear in my life.
Violins and gong.
Heavy on the gong.
And by the way, some American schools have already succumbed to the pressure from the spies abroad. Now here. It's subtle. Now, key fact number 3. So this is people say, well, that's conjecture. Chinese students have been caught spying in the United States many times. I'm going to rattle through some examples. Go check out all the references. 2025, a Chinese scholar at University of Michigan was charged with smuggling crop fungus into the United States.
Gross.
Another time in 2025, a U of M student charged with illegally voting in the 2024 election. Not spying, just illegally voting. 2024, 5 U of M students charged with spy activities at Camp Grayling. 2023, a Chicago Chinese electrical engineering student convicted for spying for the CCP. 2020, UCLA mathematics student arrested for transferring sensitive software to the Chinese military. And a bonus, I didn't even know this until this morning, Fang Fang, the one who was banging Swalwell, left him with a smile on his face. She started her spy career enrolled at Cal State East Bay. By the way, that man's still a representative. Think about that.
Yeah, swallow that, swallow.
We teach you how to swallow well. By the way, I guarantee you, the Communist Chinese Party, they're conducting fellatio classes.
Yes.
They were congressmen. Move shaft, tickle ball.
I will show you on banana. Make it cry.
That's right. Make banana cry. Make banana cry. No filibuster.
Sometimes banana don't have peel. Sometimes you have to pull it back.
Yeah, that's right. Not enough to eat the cake. Lick the frosting. Tickle. Counterclockwise.
Do not eat black banana. Too big.
That's right. Also, and in UK, very important, use reverse European grip. Now, they're teaching their people to come over here and sleep with our representatives in order to gain sensitive information and feed it back to the CCP. I don't see any net benefit to allowing more students from China. What good could possibly come of this? Can anyone answer me that? I don't understand this policy at all. Comment below. We also have an exclusive, by the way, from Chris Chappell, China Uncensored. He's done some episodes here with Lane. He's been here in our studios. He said, sadly, what usually happens is these students are watched, monitored, and universities suppress speech these Chinese students don't like. in order to protect all the money they get from Chinese students. And they went on to say this is pretty typical of Trump's negation strategy, leave everyone in confusion. He does this, keeps talking about a trade deal, keeps blocking the TikTok ban, but then will hopefully negotiate a peace agreement between Armenia, Azerbaijan, aimed at blowing a hole in China's Belt Road Initiative. I hope he's right, but I still don't understand this. This doesn't seem like a bargaining chip that should be used. Anything else?
No, I mean, sometimes we scratch our heads and go, like, maybe he's playing 8D chess. You know, maybe this is something like we don't really see coming. But the fact that we have 257, or I think that's the number, 257,000 Chinese students in the United States right now.
I think we do that too much.
Too much, period.
Yeah.
Like, look, we can educate some people if you stay here, work here, put your talents to use here, not sending information back to the CCP. But Lane was a student, I believe, at one of the finest universities in China. He studied overseas, and they were basically like, yeah, we can't tell you a lot of this stuff. Like, they're not reciprocating.
No.
This isn't going to help us in any meaningful way. In fact, if Elon Musk and the Trump administration are worried about our workforce and making sure that we have some of the best and brightest people in the world working on stuff, that's fine. Make it that our people are those people.
Yeah.
We have people that desire to be the best. We've been the best before. How about not training the rest of the world to be the best and then complaining that they have an edge in AI or they have an edge in something else that we have to compete against?
Yeah, because the Chinese students are not coming over here for a liberal arts degree.
No.
They're not coming over here to learn, women's studies or black history or anything like that. They're coming over here for engineering jobs, medical jobs, or degrees.
Yeah.
They're coming over here for technical degrees that would benefit Americans to be filling those positions here instead of having to take an H-1B, like you said.
How do we make our people here more competitive? By training up our adversaries, by importing our adversaries to train. How do we make American workers more competitive? Maybe someone could enlighten me and I would be open to having a dialogue on this. I just think this is a disaster. I don't think it's in line with what I voted for. No. So when people said Donald Trump, he's no longer MAGA because he wants to take out Iran's nuclear capabilities, I said, well, he's been saying this for a very long time. You may not agree with him, but he's been very, very consistent. In this case, I would make the argument that it is inconsistent with the reasons that a lot of people voted for Donald Trump. Do you think that? Let me know. Comment below. YouTube's is something you're not allowed to say according to the guidelines. I was quoting the guidelines. I'm glad you're still here. It means you watched this video all the way through. Oh. It says here that Rumble, where you can go follow my channel, lets you say pretty much anything, provided it's not illegal. That reminds me of, what does it remind me of? Oh, yeah. YouTube, pre-2015. Go on and follow me there. I'm live, 11 a.m. Eastern, weekdays. Don't call YouTube a Oh, it's just a different way of saying it's